Buy 5 HMTT at an ace. See what happens. It's against puts. We're fine. I want to see if you can even buy it. Colgate opens up an eighth. IBM August 95 calls. I want an offering on 1,000. I want an offering on 1,000. I want an offering on 1,000.
You want 10 more of each?
Yes. Double down. Double down. I want 10. I want 1,000.
Fives are 17 1/4. It's X. We get the dividends.
Sold. Just bought 10,000 shares of Merck. Instead of buying U.S. savings bonds, you would not ever have to work again. 46 3/4 bid Cascade? I believe that stocks like Bristol-Myers, had they existed 100 years ago, there would have been no Marx, there would have been no communism, because what's happened is these stocks have made many millions of people rich, and they're going to do it again. Sold!
Value fund, growth and income fund.
We generally tend to pick stocks that pop up on our buy list as a result of our computer screens.
Government fund and reserve fund.
I have to ask you, I've never heard this before. I've never heard of anybody with a Nebraska tax-free fund.
Well, it's both federally and state tax-free and invest in municipal bonds.
But you have to live in Nebraska to get this.
That's right.
Okay.
Do you need to be involved either way?
No, thank you.
Asking? No?
No, thank you.
No interest?
No interest.
Yes. No, thank you. Next. Hey, if you hear of any pieces of cardiac pathways down in the hole this afternoon, give me a call, please.
AAS, you sold a whopping 800 shares at 32 5/8.
That's what I like.
Beautiful.
See you later. Bye. God bless this country.
Garrett Van Wagner is still the new kid on the block.
Yes.
But the comparisons have already begun.
Yes, I do.
How do you feel when you get compared to Peter Lynch?
A little embarrassed, a little bit surprised. God bless this country. Let's feed the old ducks while they're quacking.
The companies Garrett is investing in aren't Dunkin' Donuts and Kentucky Fried Chicken. They are mainly technology and healthcare stocks that most of us have never heard of.
HNC Software has gone from up 1 to up 7.5 in about a minute and a half. Oh my God, look at Integrated Systems today, up 8 3/4. What did they discover gold?
Do you make money today?
Yeah, we made good money today, actually. And we had some real high flyers today, so we had a good day today.
Do you have a guess how much?
I'm going to say we probably made about 13, 14 million. It's going to be a guess today.
Okay, mate. Well, it wouldn't be too long with sterling because we'll probably try and bash it down when we get in. Try and look for a quick 50 or 60 points.
I guess we do feel some pride in the pound occasionally, but it's not part of our job. I mean, primarily I'm there to make money, so if the pound's falling, I've got to take advantage of it.
It's 6:30, a time when no traditional city gent would be seen dead arriving at work. But Richard Hill is no traditionalist, more of a financial athlete than an economics scholar. He started right at the bottom in Barclays Bank. But at the age of 31, he already earns more than most of their high street managers. Hill likes to arrive early, to be ahead of the game. His life centres around this huge dealing room. Barclays might have a staid high street image, but when it comes to currency dealing, Richard's up there with the gamblers, and the bank loves him for it.
Wall Street got the credit for this prosperity, and Wall Street was dominated by just a small group of wealthy men. Rarely in the history of this nation had so much raw power been concentrated in the hands of a few businessmen. Men like William C. Durant.
It's almost impossible to realize the power and the significance of the man. In Flint, when Mr. Durant came to Flint occasionally, people used to say, Durant is in town. Just like that, Durant is in town. He was bigger than life.
Earlier in the century, Durant had founded General Motors. Now, he made his money on Wall Street. Backed by Midwestern auto industrialists, he controlled so much money that he could single-handedly drive up the price of a stock and then sell, reaping huge profits. Jesse Livermore, whose fortune was estimated at over $100 million, never did anything in his life but play the market.
Everything Jesse Livermore touched turned to gold, it seemed. All he had to do was to press a button and the stock would go up 10 points. And that meant, of course, that Jesse Livermore would make a lot of money. So The average American would look at this and say, gee, if only I knew what he was doing, I could make money too. How do you get in on Jesse Livermore's brains?
Livermore was a speculator, pure and simple. He didn't study the health of a company. He didn't care whether it made a profit or paid a dividend. For him, the stock market was an abstract game of numbers.
He was a numbers man. He lived by the numbers. He took an elevator by the numbers. He came into town by the numbers. Everything was done by numbers.
Just thinking that these are too expensive. I'm 350 short now, and it's really starting to look a bit serious. It rallies another 5 points, and I sell another 150, so I'm 500 short, and I'm just screaming out, sellers, sellers, give me a seller. I want a seller so I can get out. Sellers, sellers. No one knows what's going on with me, of course, because it's just mayhem in the pit. I could taste blood in my mouth, and my heart was beating. I was looking at about $700,000. I was thinking about my wife. My life was just flashing in front of me. I was thinking about the house. And I'm there screaming, sellers, sellers, sellers. And there's just, all of a sudden the market just goes dead quiet. And there's just one guy, odd minute, just bidding for 200 at the high, going like 57 for 200, 57 for 200. And I'm going, if I have to pay any, 3 points higher, it's going to cost me over $1 million. That's going to be me out of the game. And all of a sudden, sellers came in, and sellers came in hard. And before I could buy them back, the market came off 5 points, came off another 5 points. I bought them back and took a $500,000 loss, and I was just very happy to get out at a $500,000 loss.
He's a big trader, a very big trader. So he came into the pit and he was like, with a very strong American accent. Somebody said, "It's not your war, John." He goes, "It is now."
Buy 200, buy 300, buy everything you can fucking get your hands on. I don't try to predict where the market's going to go. It's like a comet going through in the sky. You can't see the comet, but you can see the tail. All you can do is try to jump on board the comet and ride it for a while. All we can see is the tail. That's the price action. It's historical prices. People, you can analyze charts up the yin-yang. You're looking at the tail of the comet. You got to learn to get aboard the comet and ride the comet. It's a very hard thing to do. I would say only 2 or 3 times a year I really feel like I'm aboard the comet. But when I'm aboard the comet, it's the best feeling in the world.
I'm up out there, look. I wonder when we're going to take off. 8 minutes to go, and I'm getting ready to give them a little drums along the Mohawk. Do a little tom-tomming on the market here on the end. Offer 3,070!
Offer 3,070.
Offer 3,070? Yeah.
Into the phone.
Hey, listen, Benny, don't offer that. Sell 540 market. Sell 540.
540 market. Sell 540 market.
540 market? Yeah, March, go!
Paul Tudor Jones is a futures trader. He speculates on the future value of almost anything. It's been called an art, a science, a gambling game. It's a high-risk game for high rewards in an arena that is increasingly under scrutiny. Recent scandals have brought the Wall Street community into the glare of public and media attention, and the regulatory agencies are questioning the very existence of a certain kind of trading, stock index futures, at which Paul Jones has recently been one of the most successful players in America.